We are coming to the end of this year's Women's History Month. We are also commemorating 50 years of women in the American rabbinate and 100 years of American women becoming bat mitzvah, as Rabbi Ehrlich spoke about so wonderfully last Shabbat. What a month for Jewish women. To celebrate the power of women, let's look at some of our favorite biblical women heroes and compare their ideals and acts to some heroines of our own times through song and story. We opened this morning's service with Debbie Friedman's Devorah's song, telling the story of the biblical Israelite prophet and judge. She was a brilliant, wise leader and battlefield commander, and gave her people 40 years of peace and prosperity. A truly special and unusual woman for that time and for ours. To whom can we compare Devorah? Two women come to mind, both judges and courageous leaders. The late Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, whose birthday was also this month, and our new Supreme Court nominee, Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. She will be the first Black woman on the Supreme Court, once confirmed. Brilliant, insightful women. The notorious RBG lived her beliefs and wasn't afraid to voice them. She taught us to fight for the things that you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. She fought all her life for gender equality and justice, and often won those battles due to her brilliance. Judge Jackson told a stirring story in her confirmation hearing a few days ago. Years ago, she was a young, new, discouraged Harvard student and feeling so alone. She felt that she was out of place, that she didn't belong among all the prep school students. While she was walking despondently in the quad, another woman, a Black stranger, leaned close to Ketanji while passing her and just whispered one word: persevere. So she did. Two inspiring, strong women. Devorah would be proud. We just celebrated Purim, and the two women of the Purim story are both heroines in different ways. Vashti, a feminist icon today, said no to her husband and a large group of powerful men. It's very hard for most women to say no and to stick to their guns. But learning to say a firm no, resisting peer pressure and bullying, standing up for ourselves, is a life skill we need. I am still working on it. No to the king. She said no to the king. She said no, 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 no. She said no to the king. She said no to the king. She said no to the king. She said no, 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 no. She said no to the king. Without her gown, he summoned her down, said it was his right as a man with a crown. He was obsessed she should be undressed, but Vashti refused to be a woman oppressed. She said no to the king. She said no the king. She said no. She said no, 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 no. She said no to the king. An organization of modern women saying no to a patriarchal establishment exists today in Israel, the Women of the Wall. These brave women pray every month at the Western Wall, the Kotel, in Jerusalem. The Orthodox establishment does not want them there. They refuse to hear women's voices raised in prayer or see women reading from or even holding the Torah. The Orthodox scream abusive taunts, trying to blot out the women's voices, and the women of the wall are often physically assaulted, even having hot coffee thrown on them. It is horrendous and the epitome of vile, bullying behavior. So, what are the Women of the Wall planning? They are putting together the funding for a 20-voice female choir of strong, even professional voices to drown out the yelling voices so they can pray. They will show strength and solidarity, saying no to being attacked and abused at one of the holiest Jewish sites in the world. Go to their website if you'd like to help them build that choir, womenofthewall.org/IL. Esther the Queen said no to the extermination of her people. She used charm, guile, and persuasion to convince her husband, the king, to destroy the enemy and save the Jews. She was quite an effective politician.
Let us remember with true emotion, let us pay homage to Esther the Queen, and rekindle the ember of true devotion. Esther, we give you our blessing this week. Let us honor the day that we set for Purim, honor the story and all it can be, for the valorous way that she saved our people, honor the glory of Esther the Queen. We know healing for Israel, but in the slaughter, each son and daughter, stood and fell, but Esther saw the king, the car she rode, she stood before him, proud and tall, saying of nations may flourish on high ambition, only to weaken and pass from the sea. But the Hebrews will nourish their strong tradition, always protecting, always reflecting, always perfecting, lest we forget that we yet are indebted to Esther the Queen. Esther the Queen! Lest we forget that we yet are indebted to Esther. Lest we forget that we yet are indebted to Esther. Lest we forget that we yet are indebted to Esther the Queen. Esther the Queen!
Madeleine Albright, who died this week, made history by becoming America's first female Secretary of State. She blazed a path for all future women politicians, and in 2012 was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom by Barack Obama for her outstanding work. She had a seat at the table of power. But the first Black woman elected to the U.S. Congress, and the first woman ever to run for the Democratic Party's presidential nominee, Shirley Chisholm, gave this excellent advice to the rest of us. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. The story of Ruth will be recounted during the holiday of Shavuot in June. When both Ruth and Naomi's husbands died, Ruth refused to leave her mother-in-law. Ruth stayed to support and help Naomi because she loved her. The ancestral line of King David came from Ruth, and traditionalists believe that the Messiah will also be Ruth's descendant due to her faithfulness and strength. Ruth's devoted words are some of the most famous in the Torah. Where you go, I shall go, and where you live, I shall live. Your people shall be my people, and your God, my God. Where you die, I will die, and there will I be buried. Only death will part me from you. The musical setting is by Charles Gounod. Entreat me not to leave thee. Entreat me not to leave thee. Or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou longest, I will lodge. Whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Where thou lodgest, where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Where thou diest, will I die, and there will I be buried. The Lord do so to me, and more also, if aught but death part thee and me. If aught but death part thee and me. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God my God. Thy people shall be my people, and thy God, thy God, my God. Thursday was the 1-month anniversary of the war in Ukraine. Like Ruth, Olena Zelenska, the wife of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, refuses to leave her loved ones. She is a portrait of steadfastness and courage. We can help by donating to any of the Ukraine relief funds like HIAS or the Emergency Relief Fund for Jewish Women in Ukraine. Or you could go to the Ukraine Benefit Concert across the park this coming Thursday Eve at Stephen Wise Free Synagogue. Or you can volunteer here at Emanu-El to pack humanitarian supplies for the Ukrainian refugees. Please check our website for more information. And now, the Prophet Miriam, whose story is told in a few weeks at Passover. Miriam was Moses' older sister, and after their mother placed him in a basket and set it free to float along the river, Miriam followed the baby to protect him and help Moses survive. She refused to let her brother die, no matter that Pharaoh had decreed that all male Jewish babies were to be killed. Once again, a woman and the midwives Shifra and Puah stood up to a king and prevailed. Franz Schubert's Sound the Cymbal comes from his larger work, Miriam's Song of Triumph. The music describes the joyous scene when Miriam leads the women in song after the crossing of the Red Sea. Sound the cymbal, strike the harp strings, let the sound go forth on high. Strike the harp strings, let the sound go forth on My modern match for Miriam is a personal family story. My grandmother, Pearl Rottenberg, was known by all as a balabusta, a strong, forceful woman, really forceful. She got things done. And like Miriam, she stood up for Jewish babies. The family tale is that during World War II, Pearl regularly drove from Detroit to Canada to shop. But when she returned, she would have orphaned babies with her, smuggling them into the United States. Her daughter, my Aunt Ethel, the first female attorney in Detroit, provided legal papers for these babies. They saved a good number of refugee children, and my adopted cousin Marilyn is one of them. I am proud that this formidable woman is my ancestor. As all these heroines demonstrate, standing up for the helpless and the homeless is a Jewish value. We all can make a difference. Help Ukrainian refugees if you can, through donations or volunteering. And remember that we were also once strangers in a foreign land. Shabbat Shalom.